Welcome everyone here to the Smash Sports Show right here on Smash FM here on a Wednesday here in Melbourne. Of course, let's go across to our friends over in Adelaide, and of course, we're heading to the Netball SA Premier League side of things, and in particular for this team, South Adelaide, because they are they're currently sitting pretty in second position on the ladder. In the league side of things, and of course they got after they absolutely smashed Newton Jaguars by 30 points on Friday, because they've got a reasonable game again against Tango this Friday, and of course we've got four very special guests joining us right now to tell us a bit about it. Thanks all for joining us.
No worries. Having us. Yeah.
No worries. Well, I will get all four of you introduce yourselves and what position you'll play on the court.
Okay, yep. My name's Eilish. Teammates just call me Leash, and I play goal defense and goalkeeper.
I'm Jess, and I play goal attack.
I'm Brenna, and I play goal defense as well.
And I'm Maggie, and I play goal shooter and goal shooter.
So tell us a bit about the annihilation against the Jaguars.
Look, I think I'll start. So we had a little bit of a slow start to the game. So we probably had a good solid three back-end quarters, which got a good win. So it took a little bit for us to get into the game and build a bit of momentum. But once we got in, we were very confident and started playing our own game, and took away the lead. So it was good. Good percentage builder.
Obviously, it was a blowout. Did you take anything out of that game to go against another team that's in a very similar boat in Tango?
Yeah, I think, even though the score, obviously we won by quite a bit, Jags shouldn't be underestimated, I guess. Like, it was a good game for us. As Jess said, it was close for that first quarter, and then the rest of the three quarters, obviously, we pulled our finger out a little bit and had to put the foot down, which was nice. But I think they've got a really strong holding goalie. So personally for us in defence, Tango have a similar strong tall goal shooter, I should say, sorry. So for us, it's nice to be able to practice against that, and then I guess, take what we learn against Jags and take it against Tango this week. So
how's training been like, considering obviously you just finished training tonight? How was training tonight in the lead up to Friday's match?
Good, cold, very cold here. Very cold here. No, good. We had a good hit out. Went through a lot of, I suppose, we would do some different running, passing type of drills, and then we split off into our attack and defense to work on some specifics for this week and the upcoming games. So
we had the punching bags out at training tonight, actually. So
Max got a few bruises.
Yes. But no, it's a really good practice having it out, and we've sort of been trying to make our trainings the way that we want to carry out and play on Friday nights as well at the moment. So just trying to keep that intensity up.
The season, you're doing pretty well here. You're currently in second, only a game behind Contacts for top spot, and obviously you're ahead of the defending champs Matrix as well. Are you reasonably happy where you are right now at this stage of the season?
Yes. Yeah. You can speak.
We're pretty happy. I mean, second place, you can't really complain, but there's been a bit of a common theme, I think, in our change rooms after the game, is that we've kind of admitted that maybe we haven't even played our best netball yet as a team, and we're still sitting in second. So it's pretty positive. And there's lots of room for improvement that we've identified. So it can only really get better.
Very exciting for us, I think.
I have to ask, how good is to sort of, be in between the two dominant teams in the last couple of years?
Yeah, I think, I know for us personally, as you said, it's been a bit of a grind to get to this position, and there's been a group of us that have kind of stayed together, and we were so young when we started, and now we've come through, and, we're all in our mid-20s, I guess.
I wish. That'd be lovely.
In our mid-20s now, having played together for 4 or 5 years, which is really nice. And so just knowing each other's game, is great. And then obviously having some few extra additions that have come in have really just, fitted in really nicely. So I think, it's nice to be in a position where we're competitive, with those top two teams, as you said, and cement our place, not only in the top 4, but in that top 2 would be lovely.
And we had a really good win a couple of weeks ago now. We played the curtain raiser game at the entertainment centre for the Thunderbirds. playing against Matrix, and we managed to get the win by 4 on that one. So not only just being competitive, but like we know that when we do play our best netball and play as a team, that we can beat them, and we are up there pushing them. So yeah, it's really nice, really exciting.
I'm so glad you mentioned about that game, the curtain raiser to the Thunderbirds game against obviously the defending champs. So how good was it to play as a curtain raiser to the Thunderbirds game there at the Entertainment Centre and playing so well in front of I'm assuming, a reasonable crowd that turned up before the Thunderbirds game?
I think it was exciting. It was very different. It was quite surreal when we got there, you know, the big lights, all the big you know, all the advertising and things like that, and just seeing so many more seats than what we used to at Netball SA. And then, yeah, even throughout the game, not that I don't think we paid a huge amount of attention, but there's a few times I looked out and it was surprising with how many were actually in the crowd. We're not used to it. Normally we're just used to like our loved ones and parents watching us. And we had a few extra, and you know, and it was quite good. Quite a few were cheering for us, and yeah, it was fun. It was exciting. So I think we took a lot out of it, and yeah, we were lucky to get the opportunity to do that. So, and you know, to come away with the win was even better. So,
tell us a bit about your amazing coaches.
We don't know which one to start with.
They're two very different people, but they make it work.
Yeah. So maybe we can talk a little bit about Scoot and a little bit about Jackie. So Scoot's been with South Adelaide for a number of years now. Sorry, I should call him, his name is Scott, but we all call him Scooter. So he's been with South Adelaide and Woods Pet for a lot of years, and just obviously loves netball through and through. And I think also it has a lot of love and respect for us as a group and us as a club. I think the way that Scoot coaches, obviously, you know, he's there to win by all means, but also you can just tell the way that he is with our group. We're so incredibly lucky to have someone like him who looks at us as people first and then players second. And, you know, we obviously have that mutual respect with him. We think the world of him. So, yeah, we're very lucky. So he's our head coach, and we've actually just recruited an assistant coach over this year, who is Jackie. So
yeah, so I've been with Jackie for the past 3 years, so my 4th year now with her coming over, and you know, it was almost like a big decision-making part in me coming over to South as well, to be still coached by Jackie. So she's been around for many years and coached at all different levels, all different you know, walks of life. She's done men's stuff, she's obviously done women's stuff, a lot of women's coaching, but she's just extremely knowledgeable. The things that she can come out with in terms of gameplays and structures, it's really out the box sometimes, and it works, and it's really exciting to have someone who is so knowledgeable and can pass it on to us girls. And she's also, yeah, she's actually quite a funny lady too. Some of the things she says and the remarks she comes out with, you just have to laugh.
Like that's the thing, having confidence. We just laugh at them a lot, and they laugh with us. It's nice.
It's a good dynamic there. Yeah, like they while they're coaches first, I consider Jackie a friend, because the way that she can interact with us as younger people and things like that. No, it's nice. I'm glad that they're both here, and
yeah, we're incredibly lucky.
Like dynamic as well.
Yeah,
they work well with each other.
Yeah, that's good. All good things to say about these two people. So they tell us off.
Yeah.
I know that you had 2 players that came from South Adelaide to be part of the SA state team early in the year that won the 19s national championship in Darwin. How have those 2 players fit back into the team after their nationals campaign, which obviously they won the gold medal? And have they shown their gold medals around since then?
No, they haven't.
They're in our reserves team, so not directly within our league team, but they do, like, we obviously, you know, have a lot to do with the squad, and Emily, who was one of them, you know, she sits on our bench week in, week out. Thank you, Emily.
And she debuted a couple of weeks ago, so very exciting.
But they haven't shown their medals because they're probably incredibly humble people.
Yes.
I think they were pretty excited about that opportunity.
We saw a few few Snapchats and a few photos of them enjoying their celebrations after, which was nice. But yeah, they've been so yeah, they're both very very lovely girls and amazing netballers. So we feel very lucky to have them coming through. They're kind of, you know, the next youngest, yeah, the youngest of South Adelaide that are going to replace us when we retire, if not sooner. So yeah, definitely two amazing players to look out for, and amongst the many other amazing players we've got coming through.
Tell us, how did all you get involved in netball? Why did you choose it?
We can go through it. Well, I got forced into it by my mother, and I cried in the first game. That was, and then so that was. I started a little bit later. I think I was about 11 or 12. And Bren and I are sisters, and we're from Mount Gambier originally, so we play country netty. And then when we moved to Adelaide, you know, want to meet people, so we jumped across to what we were at the time, which was Woods Panthers, and now we're South Adelaide. So I'm sort of only been at one club since I've been in Adelaide. So yeah, that's me.
I think I'm going to really regret saying this, to be honest. When I started as I think maybe a 6 or 7 year old, mum made me do it as well. But I had a best friend that actually wanted to do Irish dancing, so I wanted to do that. And she said, over my dead body. My only daughter is going to do netball, so that's what got me into it. So look, I'm glad I didn't.
Glad you did too.
No, I wouldn't have lasted very long. I've been very uncle at it. So yeah, so netball is a better option for me than Irish dancing. Yeah.
I haven't seen it yet.
Bring that out. Yeah, after the next bid, we'll get Jess to do some jigging or something.
I never actually learned it.
Yeah, so obviously I'm Alicia's little sister, so my instead of going out and watching Alicia play, and my mum coach, so or umpire or do many other things. She was a superwoman and still is. And so yeah, that's how I got into it. I basically just followed Alicia's footsteps and then never stopped. So I was just saying, grew up in Mount Gambier and then moved up to Adelaide the year after Alicia. And yeah, we've been at the club for many years now. So love it here.
Yeah. I remember actually hearing about these two girls from Mount Gambier that were being scouted, and one might come up one year and then the next one might come a few years later. Yeah, and so I'm so glad that we did get you guys. I don't think I started netball until I was about 15 or 16, and I started just because my friends at school played. I was a Cali girl before that, so sometimes I try to do the splits in the change rooms, but I tend to pull my girls. Yeah, so I was definitely late to the party with netball, and yeah,
but killing it now.
Yeah, absolutely. You wouldn't know now.
You could do some dancing for us.
Yeah. There's all this unknown talent we didn't know we had.
Now, I'm pretty sure I had two of you on my show last time I did this interview, probably a couple of years ago. So I'm going to ask the same question I asked back then, and I'm going to ask this same question now. So who's the better netballer out of you two? Be honest.
That's easy. Brenner is for sure.
I think
she's having a ripper season. Don't let her say otherwise. She's your last two seasons have been amazing.
Yeah, and then I'm going to completely contest that and just say, you know, I think without Alicia, I definitely wouldn't be who I am today, like person-wise and netball-wise. So, you know, full credit to Alicia. I think, you know, we play the same position, obviously, goal defence, and so we share the court time, and, you know, sometimes that can be really tough, but there's no bad blood between us. And I think, you know, as much as it sucks when you're not on the court, it's nice to have the person that's going on to replace you be your sister, so you can't help but be happy. So I think, you know, I'd like to say that we're both level.
I'm pretty sure that's what both of you mentioned in the last interview as well. So,
oh, that's nice. At least we're consistent and love each other.
Okay, so I'll ask all four of you this question then. So what position on the court that you love to play? Considering all four you've just mentioned before at the start, what position you'll play on the court. If you had a dream position, we love to convince your coaches to put you. Where would that be? Be honest.
Mine's wing defense. I reckon if I could like nail a position, it would be wing defense because it's like underrated and there's not as much pressure as a goalie. Yeah, so maybe, yeah.
Look, I like my position, but I think if I could do one other, it might be goal shooter because there's less running. I just need to grow a bit taller. But that no offense.
No, that's none taken.
Not as much defending and things. I wouldn't be a defender to, no thanks. And center's awful. No.
I wish if it was a dream, I wish I was good at mid-court, so I would be super fit, and our mid-courters are amazing. Just keep running all day and are super athletic, so I'd like to be like them if it was possible.
I mean, I always joke about wanting to be a centre, but if I actually had to play centre, I would die. But I would go wing defence, try and be like Becky and get a bit of tussle in the game. Yeah. Not done by, but
What does the sport of netball mean to all four of you, and especially being there at South Adelaide?
Oh, good question. I'll go first. I think that netball for me is just a massive outlet to work life and everything else that goes on. And I just think here at South Adelaide, what we do so well is we're more than just a team on court. We genuinely support each other, whether it's in personal life or just being social, even after the games, heading back to the pub for a drink, just putting in that extra effort to have friends outside of just playing netball is such a special part of it. And yeah, I think it's just really nice to be able to have that outlet.
Yeah, I agree. I think I'm sure Alicia will say a similar thing, but I think growing up in the country and then moving to Adelaide, it's a pretty vulnerable time where you don't really know a lot of people. And so, as Mag says, we were actually really lucky that Scooter, who was coaching at the time, made the trip down to Mount Gambier, so 4.5 5-hour car trip just to watch Alicia and me play, and then recruited us on the spot. I think Alicia signed a contract that day and then drove all the way back in the one day. And so I think if that doesn't show the effort and the the way that we are at South, that they're willing to put in that effort for each and every person, I don't know what does. So the fact that they were willing to do that for us, and then obviously we're willing to put the commitment in for them, it's just it's all about what we do for each other, as Mag says, on and off the court. So it's really lovely.
I think for me, I've played Premier League, State League since I think 2005. So I kind of went off in 2015, had kids, and I thought I was done. And then I got kind of stuck into that lull of just being mum, and coming back gave me my identity back because I'd just done netball for so many years. And yeah, it was a funny one. While it's hard work, it's such a big part of just who I am and what I know, and I feel really comfortable and confident being out here. And I suppose, and then bringing you to South, everyone has just been amazingly welcoming. Yes, everyone's been so welcoming, and I really have loved. I've loved being part of the club. I feel like even though it's been 6 months, I feel like I've been here for a really, really long time. And no plans on going anywhere else. So having a good time.
I don't have much more else to add. I'll just extend on what was said in that I'll keep it simple. I don't think I'd have many friends, and I'd probably be unfit as hell if I didn't play netball. So it's a social outlet. Plus, I'm a psychologist by trade, so I think I need something outside of work. And it's just the relationships that keep me playing. I'm sure the coaches want us to say it's a competitive nature. If they want to win, that's all there too. But honestly, if it wasn't for the relationships, then probably wouldn't be playing. So yeah.
Following up from that, then, what have all four of you learnt from each other on and off the court?
I learned that Maggie on the court only wants the ball when she does this with her hands. That's when you know she's serious. She holds like this when she's playing goal shooter, and then if she wants it, she gives you a bit of a jiggle. So I know not to give it to her unless she's given a shake.
Yeah, and then before Brenda does that, she gives me 2 death stare eyes, and she's like,
I'm like, you're on, Mags.
I know. I think it's the same. I think when Brenna hits the centre circle, it's coming along. You got a bit of your wits about you.
Gotta have your eyes on know where it's going.
I think to answer your question a bit more seriously though, I think what you learn about each other is communication. It's like, okay, how can I give this person feedback? How are they going to take it? And that takes time. But I think we've done a really good job at that. We're very open and receptive to feedback, I believe, in my opinion. No one really takes things personally. Everyone's very much open, and we've got one common goal of getting better. So our communication is really good. Yeah.
And we're all on the same page that we want to win a flag. We're ready. It's our year.
Yeah. Makes it a little bit easier to take on feedback when there's that common goal.
Yeah. What would be your advice to people that should get involved in netball, especially there in SA?
I think in terms of, depending on what your goal is and how high you want to play. If your goal is Premier League, I think it's a fantastic competition. It's really generally quite a strong competition, and you learn a lot from it in that regard. And you're with each other 3 times a week, probably minimum. So you make really good friends really quickly. So I think it's a great social side as well as competitive, if that's in your nature.
And I guess we're really lucky as well. Like on the weekend, we just had a senior club event, actually our South Adelaide cocktail night. So all of our senior teams came, all the girls in our senior teams, and all the coaching and our family and friends. So yeah, it's within our team and within our Premier League squad, but also within the club. Like we're very lucky to have some amazing senior teams that we were just talking about it. So we've got our Premier League reserves, our A&D and A grade are all in the top 4 at the moment. So our top 4 senior teams are all looking good to get into finals, which is amazing. So we're very lucky.
Very happy teams at the minute.
Yeah, which is amazing. So yeah.
So sort of saying it's not just your relationships within your team, but it's the
it's a bit of community.
I was going to say, for people that maybe don't have that, then it'd be instant community.
And for anyone who just wants to come out and participate in netball, even if they're the young ones, then we'll have a South Adelaide dress waiting for them. They're welcome. And as the Premier League squad, we try and get out to our buddy teams throughout the year and watch them play games. And if some of us can get out to trainings, if it's not on the same night as ours, just really put in that effort so that we make that one club sort of culture and do attract those people to come to our club.
We'll finish off with a couple of light-hearted questions about your teammates. So who's the comedian, the best singer, and into their TikTok/Be Real?
I'd like to think I'm the comedian, but really I just laugh at myself and everyone else at me. I don't think I'm very funny. I don't have any funny content. I just laugh at myself.
I used to have I don't know, they need to pick up their game a little bit, but we had dedicated TikTokers last year, which was Ash and Loz, 2 girls next door. That was their job.
We've got some upcoming people that we might put into those roles though. Special shout out to Maddie McDonald, who's always the life of the party.
She's the best dancer probably.
Oh yeah, she likes to tell us all that she actually competed at a school nationals for dancing. So I'm gonna throw her under the bus and say that she's probably the best dancer and probably a good singer as well.
I haven't heard that yet.
Yeah,
definitely not me.
I think Beth could pop out of them.
Beth is a good rapper. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
When I come back to Adelaide later in the year, when I come back over to Adelaide later in the year, I'll attend one of your games. I'll make sure both you can tell me who that player is, and I'll see if you can get her to dance. Any pre-game superstition or ritual by either of you?
Mine's changed so many times, but
that's not really a superstition.
No, I know, but I have them and then I make them a thing, and then somehow one day they just won't be a thing. But I still try to do my 2 blue Powerades before a game, which still from last year. You haven't brought me my blue Powerade yet. You said you would. You gotta go back.
I haven't forgotten, Maggie. I haven't forgotten. It's actually still on my list when I come over to Adelaide to come to. Yeah, so don't worry, it's coming.
But I think that's all I've got at the moment.
I'm not very superstitious. I used to be superstitious when I lived at home, but I feel like my life's through chaos now. So no, I don't think I have anything. Oh, actually, that's a lie. I do have something. I call Eileen in the car before every training and every game, much to her disgust. And she's probably gets sick of me, but yeah, that's something that I do before every training and every game. So that's probably my superstition.
Yeah.
Does she always answer?
Yeah, she always answers because I have it on no caller ID. So you're the only one that calls me on that.
I think for myself, just pre-game, I don't know if it's superstition or just a really ingrained routine. But I like probably a good solid half an hour of shooting before, like, you know, coaches talk and warm up and stuff. I just like to really get as many shots in as I can, and yeah, get my aim before the game. So if I don't get that done, I get a bit antsy.
Yeah, I don't have anything. I don't think. No, I usually listen to like a podcast on the way to the game, but then Brenna calls me and interrupts it. So yeah, not really.
I'll finish with this last one, which is, who had the most embarrassing moment on the court this season, and what was it?
I had a Falcon last week.
Yeah, there's been numerous Falcons. They've not been good.
I don't remember. I don't know if anyone's done it outrageous this season. Yeah, we're still young. We've got plenty of games to go, but this season.
I don't know. I don't think there's been anything too embarrassing that I can think of. Have you thought about something?
Can I throw one of our coaches under the bus?
Oh yeah.
Well, I won't tell you who, but one of our coaching staff accidentally yelled out "go" and then another team instead of South Adelaide.
Yeah, I got a good fine for that.
That's probably about as bad as it's gotten at our end.
Yeah.
And she was quick to correct herself and apologise for it. But
She's done it like early in the year. I think she's done it twice now.
Right.
Old habit. Still adjusting, we'll say, adjusting period.
Oh, okay. So I have to ask. So when it happened, can you tell which team was that she was not going for in particular? You know.
No. Lips are sealed. Do you know why? Because if we tell you, we'll probably have penalties at training.
Oh.
It's for our own well-being.
Well, all for you. Thank you so much for getting up some of your time to join us. Doing pretty well. Second position on the ladder. Let's hope, obviously, you can continue that winning streak against Tango this Friday. And hopefully when I come over there next, hopefully it is a grand final appearance when I come over there next.
That'd be awesome.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah,
Thanks
thanks
for
so
having
much.
us.
No worries. And of course, if you want to get down there to Netball SA Stadium, of course, every Friday is on, of course, and we'll put all the details up on their next game, which is against Tango this Friday night. There's more on the Smash Sports Show right after this. Don't go away here on the 10th year celebration.